Let's now head straight to the Ngong Hills, where my colleague Helen Aura is covering a tree planting event by the Nation Media Group in partnership with Family Bank. Helen?
Well, Ibrahim Karanja, it is quite the chilly afternoon here at the Ngong Hills, but all for a good cause, and the views are quite to die for. If my camera person Shamason could just take a small pan. And we're here all for good efforts. The Nation Media Group, in partnership with Family Bank, held a walk from today morning at around 7 up until now, covering around 12 kilometers just for tree planting efforts to ensure that the rehabilitation process within Ngong Hills continues. This comes ahead of, as Kenya is now facing climate change, which has really affected and caused a lot of parts of the country to face severe droughts, as we had just witnessed in the previous months. I'm joined by Dr. Kiboro, who's here. Dr. Kiboro, welcome to NTV.
Thank you.
Kindly tell us today's efforts for taking this walk. How important are the tree plantation efforts moving forward?
I think it's very, very important because, as you know, environmental conservation is the business of everybody. In fact, if you look at the hills up there, you can see the gullies and valleys and everything else, which means that our topsoil is just being eroded and so on. And you can see even here, once upon a time, this was a huge, huge forest. Right. Now it's just some sort of, dry land. And part of the thing that we are trying to do starting last year, we were given about 10 acres to start with to rehabilitate 10 acres. Up there you can see those that fence that we did. And we did plant about 15,000 trees last year. And despite the drought last year, I'm happy to say about 80% of them survived. The importance of actually rehabilitating the environment is for two reasons. One is because, as you know, the way we have actually devastated and degraded our environment, it has resulted in global warming and also climate change. If you remember last year we had the worst drought in 40 years, where more than 5 million people went without food. And this is a direct result of climate change and so on. So it's very important to reforestate our land, where this can be happening, because that is the only way, not only of restoring our atmosphere and everything else and so on. So planting trees is one of the ways of actually, refreshing our atmosphere and so on, the carbon and so on. Everybody is supposed to plant maybe about 7-10 trees. For the oxygen that you breathe is the courtesy of the trees. So we are very happy to see this. So this is very, very, very important for us. We have been given about 100 hectares here to rehabilitate the entire, Ngong Hills. And it's my hope in the next 5 to 10 years that this will be a huge, huge forest, where you young men and women can be coming here with your children, to enjoy the flora and the fauna and everything else. Very much like what we did in Karura Forest. If you go to Karura Forest, thousands of families go there to enjoy the thing. And this is one of the things that we did many, many years ago, of restoring Karura Forest, which had been grabbed by, so-called developers. But now if you go to Karura Forest, you have more than 3,000 people visiting the Karura over the weekend. We hope hundreds and hundreds of people will be coming here to Ngong Hills in the next 10 years. Just enjoy, just look at the beautiful views that we have around here. The other thing that will also happen when this place is rehabilitated is that the streams that used to come from Ngong Forest will come back. We had more than 14 streams that used to come from Ngong Hills. Now less than 4 are coming out of Ngong Forest. And the few that are actually running, we have also polluted them. So part of this awareness is also to create awareness about the need to not to pollute our rivers and so on. And we are counting on the young men and women like you to conserve and protect our environment. So that's why we are doing this.
Among the trees planted here, which species in particular is the one that will be predominant in this area?
There are all kinds of species. I think there are very many. In fact, what we try to do is that we work together with the Kenya Forest Department to tell us the kind of species that could do here. Acacia is one of them that does very well. Some of the other indigenous trees are here. I don't know all them off my head, but many, many trees. If you go out there, you'll see them. We have got the we got some of these like pondo trees. We have all kinds of trees that are there, indigenous that grow. The Prunus africanus, we have also the bamboos and so on. And the other thing that we have done up there is actually to put some sandbags across the gullies, which then stop the erosion. And actually, if you look at where we planted last year and here, there's a whole lot of difference. This is our place.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you. Well, Ibrahim, you've had it. This effort, this reforestation efforts, we're looking forward. The chairman has just said he's looking forward for young men and women to come here and enjoy this particular area. So I'm sure even where you're seated, you need to come and join the team here to be able to plant trees thereafter. And just to also add on to that, this is ahead of tomorrow's World Environmental Day celebrations with a theme which is to find solutions to plastic waste. And also remember, Ibrahim, that the Kenya Kwanza government, President William Ruto, had promised to ensure that 15 million trees shall be planted to ensure Kenya will be able to at least reach a 30% forest cover by the year 2032. We shall keep you up to date. Back to you in studio.
Well, thank you very much, Helen Aura from the Ngong Hills. And true to it, some of us are actually also partaking in that particular tree planting in the various places we come from.